The Pluto coordinated at the farthest reaches of our planetary gathering is wrapped by a huge number of cold heavenly bodies and space rocks inside the Kuiper belt, a huge close-by of space beyond Neptune. Once worshipped as the 10th planet, Pluto gets its name from the Roman god of the mysterious world. However, in a huge crossroads in astronomical history in 2006, Pluto was conclusively restricted from its planetary status, reflecting the growing understanding of our boundless district. Our ongoing energy for the planetary gathering depicts a winding of famous parts, unique space rocks, a select gathering of minor planets, and a record of only 8 regular planets throughout the accounts of human premium, exploring many extended lengths of grandiose insight and assessment. How we decipher these godly bodies has sprouted by and large. We've acquired insights into their plans, techniques for acting, and plausible bearings, painting a more nuanced image of our cosmic environment. However, in the center of our making information, the appealing draw of our own world continues to pursue assessment and disclosure. The James Webb Space Telescope, a zenith of present-day galactic headway, stands prepared to relax a portion of these stopping special experiences, including those wrapping Pluto. Regardless of what its inconspicuous size and unusual circle, Pluto held an extraordinary spot in the hearts of different for exceptionally a seriously lengthy time span, displaying the qualification of being the littlest moon-bearing article in our close-by planet bundle. Pluto's renaming lighted a tense response from the public, highlighting the huge affiliation individuals felt toward this faraway great body. However, mindful caution directed that for an article to merit planetary status, it ought to stick to 3 key models: spinning around the Sun, having adequate mass to assume an essentially round shape under its gravity, and its orbital way liberated from garbage. Rules that in the long run neglected to meet with its lopsided orbital way. The term planet has gone through a fascinating headway all through the scope of infinite history. At first, it wrapped any broad eminent body found overhead, including moons and space rocks. Pluto's divulgence in 1930 by American cosmologist Clyde Tombaugh stirred worldwide fervor, just to be trailed by revelations of more overestimated objects inside its district, working up questions about its planetary level. Amidst the ensuing chatter, Professor Mike Brown's significant revelation of AYS, a Kuiper belt object indistinguishable in size to Pluto, further wrecked everything, challenging the ordinary meaning of a planet. This prompted areas of strength for and inside the vast area, prompting Pluto's renaming as a dwarf planet during the Worldwide Cosmic Association gathering in Prague in 2006. Thus, Pluto's advancement from planetary discernibility to modest planet task fills in as major areas of strength for and of the dynamic nature of logical understanding and the ceaseless journey for lucidity in the midst of the tremendous space of the universe. Later wide conversation, a re-examined importance of a planet was proposed and put to a vote during the August social event of the Worldwide Cosmic Association, the genuine body at risk for naming sublime articles and characterizing vast terms. In this friendly occasion, standard researchers wrestled with the need to get a handle on the request for heavenly bodies, especially those in the outer scopes of our close-by planet pack. Following examinations, P-planet status was presented upon both Pluto and AYS. This choice implied a takeoff from the conventional comprehension of what is a planet and mirrored a more nuanced view of brilliant components. Eyes, actually known as 23,313 and nicknamed Xena, was renamed after the Greek goddess of conflict, reflecting the discussion surrounding its gathering. Mike Brown, a planetary researcher at Caltech whose work added to the renaming of Pluto, gained wide appreciation for his work. All the while, as an energetic sign to his thought, Brown got the cherishing moniker, Pluto Killer, on Twitter. The changed gathering incited the brief multiplication and invigorating of illuminating materials, including norms and course readings, to mirror the new classification. Pluto and AYS as little planets. However, not all people from the spread-out legitimate neighborhood embraced the IU meaning of a planet. Some planetary experts, especially those with an accentuation on Pluto and tantamount items, communicated doubts about the new request standards. This distinction of evaluation started advancing discussions inside the field of room science concerning the explicit standards for ordering heavenly bodies. Scientists added to these discussions through instructive papers that inspected verifiable need in logical structure. They contended against the IU meaning of a planet, alluding to models for Anant's series, which was initially named a planet upon its disclosure in 1801 but later renamed as an asteroid as additional items were found in the ASID belt. The discussion over the meaning of a planet relaxed past logical circles and into more prominent social discussions, raising solicitations concerning the probability of reasonable strategy and the outcomes of renaming well-established infinite terms. Not getting through these discussions, reasonable examination proceeded unabated. In 2015, NASA's New Horizons space contraption led a fundamental flyby of Pluto, giving shocking experiences into this far-off world. The mission uncovered a dynamic and topographically powerful planetoid with highlights like nitrogen fans and a conspicuous heart-formed region bewildering individuals' overall's creative mind. As we consider these developments, it turns out to be self-evident that how we could decipher the close-by planet pack and its constituent bodies keeps on encouraging the renaming of Pluto and AYS as little planets. It addresses an achievement in our determined assessment of the universe, highlighting the complex nature and arrangement of universes past Earth. As New Horizons gone through space at a staggering pace of 32,300 miles per hour, it gave a remarkable chance to get coordinated photographs of Pluto's near side during its nearest velocity. However, due to the strategy of the space contraption and the spot of the Sun, the far side of Pluto, frequently alluded to as the darkened side, stayed stowed away from notwithstanding view during the flyby. Researchers desperately investigated pictures taken by the vanes before its understanding to gain insights into this confounding region. Not enduring the difficulties introduced by the restricted objective of these photographs, they advertised an uncommon degree of detail, permitting researchers to see surface parts down to around 1 mile across. This level of clearness far outperformed past bits of knowledge, including those from the Hubble Space Telescope, which circles Earth. The evaluation of these photographs has yielded new perspectives on Pluto's dynamic nature. Researchers are at this point digging into the scene to unwind special experiences like the ordinary presence of a sea under the infection surface and the parts driving surface cycles. A few charming disclosures even exhibit the chance of Pluto's rough climate supporting microbial life. However, alongside these new disclosures come new favorite insights. Recently tracked down ice progressions appear to be elevated structures circle Pluto's far side, their starting points covered in vulnerability. Richard Binnell, a planetary expert, drew in with the New Horizons' fundamental objective, sensibly portrays Pluto as the gift that keeps on giving as it continues to amaze specialists with its intricacy. Previously, the most coordinated pictures of Pluto came from the Hubble Space Telescope, revealing a world with explicit surface parts. However, it was the New Horizons space gadget that gave up the fundamental close perspectives on Pluto's scene, including the striking heart-shaped combine and the massive frozen bowl known as Sputnik plane. The disclosure of Sputnik plane's odd blueprint with Pluto's most significant moon Charon raised enthralling issues about its blueprint. A few experts guess that the bow's creation might have involved a subsurface sea ascending to the surface, causing massive gravitational mints. Additional proof supporting the presence of a subsurface sea comes from the revelation of smelling salves in the ice covering Sputnik plane. This finding recommends geological development on a deeper level, showing a dynamic and creating world. As experts keep on investigating the data accumulated by New Horizons, how we could decipher Pluto's complicated and dynamic nature grows, opening new streets of examination and solicitation. The wild scene on Pluto's far side, this join of grades, holes, and fields' closeness to parts seen on other splendid bodies where subsurface seas are thought. While the goal of pictures from Pluto's far side remains restricted, experts eagerly anticipate future missions for closer assessment. Anomalies fuel theory about Pluto's fundamental history and the typical occupation of its subsurface sea in shaping its surface. These revelations challenge how we could decipher planet-region headway and feature the dynamic nature of distant universes like Pluto. As New Horizons continued with its attempt, investigators conjectured about the predetermination of Pluto's middle. Over the long lobby, radioactive decay inside the middle would have created sufficient capacity to accumulate the including ice, leading to surface waves like the wrinkling of an apple set aside in a refrigerator. Assuming that this current circumstance occurred, Pluto's surface should give signs of wrinkling and breaking in later photos. However, when New Horizons caught photographs of Pluto's far side, it essentially uncovered holes instead of broad wrinkling. These holes suggest that Pluto's once fluid had to some degree frozen over the long haul. Truly, a colossal break running the length of the close side collapsing over the total of the planet seemed to be Earth's East African break structure. This break probably came about from the freezing and extension of the sea, showing the ocean's quick chilling upon openness. The age of the break exhibited that the sea started cooling quickly subsequent to coming to the surface, possibly encouraging circumstances helpful for marine life. Other than the red shade of the water, normal for organic particles, recommended the presence of complex natural matter. Laboratory tests have shown the way that such particles would be able to structure through radiation, like solar breeze or on the other hand, infinite rays, proposing a potential situation for their presence on Pluto. Furthermore, the disclosure of smelling salts-bound ice on Pluto's near side supports the possibility that the P-small planet could clutch rich organic blends. While this doesn't prompt the start of life on Pluto, it suggests the potential for life to get through assuming conditions were positive. Measurements from Pluto's far side have not just upheld the mission forever yet have likewise prompted the revelation of interesting land highlights like ice formations looking like tall designs. These edges appropriated equitably and rising forcefully up high present a huge mystery. Ghost estimations show that they are made from methane ice forming a belt around the equator. However, their origins remain questionable, with series going from air hardening to disintegration by outrageous sunlight. Getting a handle on Pluto's cold pieces and scene requires a profound examination of its current circumstance. Analysts are refining environment models to all the more likely replicate notice characteristics and try to imitate Pluto's air and sea conditions in lab settings. While the James Webb Space Telescope can't catch high-resolution pictures of Pluto, its longer frequencies make it liable to uncover astounding revelations. As we keep on unwinding Pluto's secrets, we leave on a journey condemning of mankind's voracious mission for information and the unique advancement of how we could decipher the universe through continuous assessment and examination. It was unquestionably the principal article that visited our local in the Planetary gathering from outside the Planetary gathering. It moved excessively rapidly to ever be bound to the sun. Indeed, the principal thing that we have considered coming to us from interstellar space from various spots. People have been looking at space all through later numerous years, typically with the ones that go visit the farthest wraps up of the sun-based structure. In past to find things that we can't with a standard telescope, the overall thought is that these things exist there in space, and we just need to proceed to track down them. Yet with the disclosure of all of that changed. The incredible guest from significant space has been inspected a ton for the past barely any weeks. This thing is fundamentally a piece of one more close-by planet pack that was killed. However, the James Webb Telescope just uncovered the bona fide picture of the space monster. It's uncovered things that no one saw coming, oh brigade. As we dig more significant into this picture and how the disclosure of UA has impacted the universe of science in space, Momoa is a surprising and fascinating thing, no question. It rose out of the profundities of room and made the whole world stop suddenly. At the moment that the art article was certified, everybody expected to find out about it since not in any way like this had any time been found before. This long Stoga structure guest showed up in our close-by planetary pack from a far-off space beyond our own. It's basically an odd interstellar traveler wandering through the limitlessness of space to pay a temporary visit. It's especially incomprehensible to Missappear, which seems to be a meager stogie or as I like to call it a perpetual needle. It makes it not at all like anything we have experienced before. This exceptional openness spread out on October 19, 2017, when the Dish Stars 1 telescope in Hawaii researched the night sky and uncovered the presence of UA. It was an unprecedented occasion, as this meant the starting time stargazers perceived in things beginning from outside our planetary gathering. More insane was the way that it truly made it to as far as possible into our planetary gathering, and it was going directly toward Earth. It was a likely one-to-one appearance of the best things that had ever occurred. It was essential to skip further into it since it seemed like the best way to deal with unlocking the inside or real picture of it is a significant matter. Except for an image, isn't where they will stop. Researchers have made arrangements to use the pivotal James Webb Space Telescope for considering interstellar things as they go through our close-by planet pack. Being the first of its sort, the telescope's fabulous attributes lie in its capacity to accumulate and dismantle infrared light, making it a huge mechanical assembly for this specific evaluation. Equipped with front-important standard and high-care instruments, the Webb telescope has an unrivaled ability to see battles that are pointlessly old, far away, or shut down for various telescopes to get. This exceptional responsiveness and power create a unique open door for researchers to dive stupidly into the insider realities of interstellar things, unraveling their made arrangements while relaxing their veritable core. All of this is fundamentally hard to study from Earth. If you simply take a gander at the articles without genuinely getting an unequivocal glance at them, the James Webb Space Telescope's high plan of infrared cameras adds an additional layer of accuracy to the picture of interstellar articles. With its key, the telescope can convey complex subtleties, portraying these boggling heavenly guests as they experience inside our observational reach. So whether you're not getting genuine photographs that are in one piece, it's capable of putting hundreds in case not a huge number of pictures together to make one uber picture that wins.